So anyway, this is Chef Shell from Atlanta. Thank you so much for joining the cooking class. We're going to be doing smothered chicken today, okay? And we're going to do some rice. So hope you have your supplies and you are ready. Now, I have already washed and dried my chicken. Some people don't believe in washing your meat, but I do. So I generally wash my meat in vinegar and lemon and let it kind of soak in the vinegar for a little while. And then I kind of rub it clean with the vinegar, okay? And then depending upon the meal, I dry it. I take a paper towel such as this, and I actually pat it dry and get all of the excess water out of the chicken. So it's about 5:57. We're going to be starting in at exactly 6 o'clock. Okay. And if you were not able to join with us live, we definitely will be sending out the video for you. Okay. So just in case you don't know anything about me, my name is Chef Shell, Dr. Chef Shell. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, I'm a Georgia peach. And I love cooking. I love soul food. I love seeing my clients, my family enjoy my food. I learned how to cook this way over the years from my grandmother, Mary Tyler, and Aunt Gussie and Grandma Penn. They really took me up under their wings and just really showed me a lot of good cooking methods. And the main thing, you guys, is flavor for me. You have to season your food. And a lot of times people say, oh, soul food is so salty and all that kind of thing. It's only salty if you add extra salt to it. And you do not have to do that because, hey, Christine, you joined it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were on.
Hi.
Hey, girlfriend, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. So are you going to cook along with me or you just going to watch?
Yes, I'm going to cook along with you. I'm kind of nervous because I'm like not good at this, but I made it and I'm here.
Good, good. Well, I want to ask you to go on mute. Now, if you do have any questions, I'll answer them at the end, okay? But I mean, if it's an emergency, maybe put up a finger or something like that so I'll know that you need me right away. All right? So I'm using some drums because that's all I had and I didn't feel like going back to the store. So I've already washed and patted them dry. So we're going to season them first, okay? I love me some garlic pepper, garlic powder. This is granulated garlic, don't have extra salt in it. So we're going to start off with that. I don't measure. So I believe in just seasoning, on both sides of your meat. If you season on one side, you're going to season on. So we're going to first season on this first side. Let me put this so you can see a little bit closer. So this is how much I'm putting on here. I like the taste of garlic. If you don't like garlic, maybe use a little less. You're going to use some onion powder. And then we're just on the first side, okay? And the more meat that you have, the more you need to add seasoning, okay? If you got an all-purpose seasoning, if you ain't got Chef Shells yet, make sure you order. But any all-purpose seasoning, the all-purpose seasoning does have salt in it. If you're salt restricted and you don't like a lot of salt, don't be heavy-handed with this. I'm not salt restricted. I'm not going to be too heavy-handed because I don't like my food salty, but I do like it seasoned, okay? You're going to use some pepper. And I didn't tell you to order this, but since I found this, I am loving this particular season. So I'm going to add this to some little garlic, onion, a little paprika and stuff. So we're going to also season the other side the same way. If you don't like touching chicken, some people don't like it, put some gloves on. This is just for me tonight. Me and my daughter, she wants a piece. I've been cooking all day. So this is like my second time cooking. I had to make some meatloaf earlier. So that was the garlic, now the onion powder. All purpose again. Some pepper. And more of my new season, the garlic onion blend. And the reason I like this, it just since I found it, it's just so flavorful. And actually, you know, guys, you know how I found this? I was looking at one of Tabitha's, Tabitha Brown's specials. So shout out to Tab. Girl, I'm using some McCormick's garlic and onion and black pepper because of you. Yes. So now that they're seasoned, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to heat our oil. So you probably don't need a pan as big as this, but this is what I had. So I'm going to turn my thing on. I'm going to put this on about 300 to heat up. I'm using grapeseed oil, but you can use vegetable oil, canola. And I am just oiling the bottom of my pan because I'm not trying to fry these, okay? Now you can fry. This is how much oil I have in here. You could actually do smothered chicken two ways. You can actually, if you wanted to, you could put flour on here and just kind of fry it and then smother it, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to, you know, we have them well seasoned. We're going to heat this oil up and then we're going to brown it on each side. We will then take it out and I'm going to show you how to make the gravy, and we're going to let it simmer in the gravy. And that's how we're going to smother this chicken. And this is really the way that I love to make it, you know, slow and low. So what I want to tell you guys. So I like grapeseed oil. It has a high fry point, but it's light and mild. If you don't have this, canola oil is good. Vegetable oil, of course, is tried and true. A little bit of Crisco if you want it to. Every now and then, sometimes I'll even add like a little bit of butter, just kind of depending upon the flavor that I'm going for. Today, this is just more of a traditional flavor that I'm going for. So we're just going to heat this up. You want to be careful as you're heating up your oil. You know, you don't want any accidents in the kitchen. I'm using a conductor thing instead of my stoves, just for purposes of the training. What did I want to tell you guys? After we do the chicken, we're going to start on the rice. What I'm going to do is we're going to do the chicken, and I'm going to take this to my oven and let it continue to continue to simmer as I show you how to make the rice, okay? And like I said, we will take questions at the end of the recording. And thank you so much for joining. And for those of you that will see the recording later, thank you so much as well. Just to give you some more background about Chef Shell, I've been cooking for over 30 plus years. I had great practice with three, they're now grown children, and all my family. I'm the cook of our family. So every holiday season, generally, even now, they give me money, we come up with a menu, and then we cook. I cook whatever. This year, past couple of years, I branched out. So for the holidays, people order, I put out a menu, they order. Turkey, you know, dressing, just traditional things. I'm doing peach cobbler this year. I added that. Last year I just did sweet potato pies, but I'm adding peach cobbler to the menu. So this is pretty warm now. So your oil should be warm. Let's add our chicken. No, it's still not warm like I want it, you guys. Let me turn this up a little bit more. And the reason I know that it's not warm because it would have sizzled. And it's not. I'm gonna take this back out. Let this keep warming up a little bit. Yeah. Let it keep warming up. Hey, this is live. This is a live demo. So you want your oil to heat up to a great temperature. I turned this up to about 400. But if you're on a regular stove, medium high, you don't want it popping all over. And I don't want that at this point either. So even if I was on my stove top, I wouldn't want it popping, but I do want it definitely to heat up. So I'm just gonna let it heat up a little bit more, because when I put it down, I do want to hear the sizzle and the bubble sound. Now, if I was frying this, I would throw in a little flour, just a little tiny bit. I still could. And I would know that it's heating up. Oh, but I feel it now. I think I just need to turn it up a little bit, and that's what I did. We're just gonna let it warm up some more. Like I said, and gently loaded this with a little oil. Just don't add too much. The reason I didn't want to add too much also is because we're going to use this oil when we're making our gravy. And even if I had too much in there, I can always pour it off. But I like to kind of, since I only have 2 pieces of chicken. So, oh yeah, that's heating up very nicely, I can tell. So let's try this again. Let's see about adding this chicken. That's what I want to hear. Yes. So we're just going to let this brown on each side. So you want it to start browning and cooking. So we're actually just browning it, just kind of pan-searing it. And once it browns, I'm gonna put it back in here, and then I'll show you how to make the roux and make your gravy. And if you do, you can add fresh onions. I'm gonna use some frozen onions in mine because actually I do have some fresh onions. Sorry about that. Already chopped. I'm gonna add some onions. I didn't chop them, but whoever chopped them, they did a good job. Hope you guys can see it's bubbling. So we are going to let this brown up on both sides. And one thing I can tell you when you are cooking, do what you like. If it's a certain seasoning that I'm using that you don't like, don't use it, just omit it. If you want to change the flavor, like if you wanted to make this like a lemon pepper flavored smothered chicken, you can do that. If you like curry, you can do that. If you like spice, like my daughter, she loves like spice. So adding extra Cajun seasoning on here or Creole seasoning will amp up the spice. Even once you make the roux, you add additional spices to your flour, be it with a little jalapeno or just like I said, the Creole seasoning, it'll amp it up. So yeah, see how that's browning? That's what we want. That is what we want. Because basically I just want the browning on each side. And then once we make the roux, it's just going to simmer, and that is what's going to simmer for about, you need a good 25 to 30 minutes, depending upon the color of your meat. Now I have drumsticks. These are going to take a little bit longer. But wings, a breast, you don't want to overcook a breast because they'll get dry. And wings don't take that long. That's why that's what I like to use. But like I said, that's what I had in the freezer. And honey, I was not trying to go back to the store today. It's like, no, we're just gonna use what we got. And back in the day, that's what our families did. They used what they had, honey. Nice. That's what Chef Shell did today. Look, we're not trying to go back to the store. We're gonna use what we got. Want that to brown up some more. I'm just gonna let that sit in there. Let that sit in there. And cook. And cook. What else can I tell you guys? Oh, the rice. I am going to just do a cup of rice. And if you don't have chicken broth, I got some chicken broth. You can just use I got a cup of rice, you use a cup of water. If you had 2 cups of rice, you use 2 cups of water. That's the secret. However many cups of rice you use, same amount of cups of water or broth. And even if you just use water, you can always flavor up your water. Like you can use chicken bouillon, any type of seasoning. A little extra butter. Ooh, yeah. This is already smelling good. Now it's not done, but honey, the smells. It's the smell for me. It's the smell for me. Yes, honey. It's all that flavor. That's all that seasoning we've already put on here. So this one is brown. Now it's not all the way done, as you can tell, but I just want it brown. And let this one brown up just a little bit more. Browned up really good on that side. And then we're gonna go on and do the roux. And the roux is just the first start of our gravy mixture. It's my flour. So hopefully yours is browning up as well, Christine. Take this one out. So now I'm going to add, this is about a tablespoon. Wow. You know, you can see that. That's what you want. Okay. Stir that up. I'm going to add some of these onions. If you don't like onions, you don't have to add them. That many. Like I said, I don't have but a little bit of you guys, you know, I forgot my Lipton onion soup. Let me grab that real quick. Sorry about that. Actually, Kroger, but you know, any type of onion mix will do. All right. And that's how that's looking with the onions. Now I'm going to add about a cup. Now, the more gravy, the more chicken you would have, of course, you would add more. And I'll have those two pieces. That. Now I'm going to add some more onion powder to this. Some pepper. And we're going to add the Lipton onion soup mix. Well, this is Kroger's brand, but any type of onion soup mix. When I tell you, packs the power with the flavor, yes, yes, yes. This is one of my go-tos. I keep, anybody who knows, I keep this, you know. And I actually make it every now and then. If you guys want to know how to make it yourself, just let me know. And I'll tell you how you can just make your own. Every now and then I do when I have the time. And you see how that's thickening up and coming together? Now you add your chicken back in here. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more of, still got some seasoning. I'll put all that in there. Some good stuff. A little bit more. But this is the consistency that you want of your gravy. You see that? Hope you guys can see. It's thick enough that you can just, but because this is going to cook some more, covered, I'm going to add another cup because it's going to thicken up as we cook it, okay? So you let it, bring it to boil. So that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna let it come to a boil. And then you'll lower, we're gonna put it, lower it down to medium low and let it simmer for 25 minutes, okay? So let's bring it, I'm gonna let it bring it to boil. And then, like I said, I'm gonna put it on my other eye over there and I'm gonna show you how to make this rice. So look, you guys, hey, you are doing it. I already got your chicken, your gravy is made. It's coming to a boil. Oh, yes. And I'm gonna taste this, you guys, because you know. Oh my goodness. That's the flavor that I'm looking for. Add a little bit, I like pepper in my gravy. Now, if you don't like a lot of pepper, don't add sugar. That's what I feel that it needed. So that's what I added. So I'm going to turn on my other eye over here. And I just want you guys to see that it's boiling, coming to a great little boil. But the smell of that onions and that Lipton onion soup mix, and y'all know, what am I thinking? I got to add some Chef Shells, honey, just a little bit. The onion soup mix has salt in it, so I don't want to add too much. But honey, Chef Shells go good, great on everything. You see what I'm saying? So yes, indeed. Oh yeah, it's coming together. So now that it's boiling, you're gonna put your lid on and let it simmer now for 25 minutes. I'm gonna put this on that owl so I can show you how to make the rice, okay? Awesome. So, you want a cup of rice and a cup of raw or plain water. And we're going to bring this to boil. Sip it to your rice. 1 cup. Let me rinse this off. I'm going to stir that a little bit. Clean up my area a little bit as I go. So smothered rice, you know, it's great over chicken. You could have did mashed potatoes as well. If you're doing keto or any of those type things, you probably would want to use cauliflower rice. Very easy to make. I normally just buy the frozen kind, and I season it just like I would if I was doing regular rice. So you would probably want to do a vegan butter, but I use good old regular butter. I do not use margarine. It's not good for you because of the way it's made. So if I'm going to use that kind of thing, and I use just regular good old butter. And we're going to use some butter in here just to, well, no, I'm not going to put any butter in it because we're going to have the gravy. But if I was just, wanted to season it up a little bit, that's what I would do. So we're going to bring this up to boil. And once it comes to boil, I let my rice boil about 10 minutes. And then I strain it off, add just a little tiny bit more chicken broth, just a little bit, I'll show you. And then I just put the lid on and let it steam for about 7 to 8 minutes. And it's done. Rice don't take a whole lot to cook, it really doesn't. Not at all. But you want to bring it up to boil. At this point, if you wanted to add your butter, you could add some extra butter right now. I normally add mine on the second phase, so I'll show you guys that. Let me get my strainer. I should have already had it out, but I didn't think about it till just now. Like that. And it's boiling. Let it boil for a great 10 minutes. So after this, Our dinner is pretty much done. You're gonna wait the 25 minutes for the chicken to get done, and hey, you are you cooking with gas. Yeah, there we go, right there. A little bit more. I'm just stirring to make sure it's not sticking at the bottom. We're gonna let it boil some more. And not only do I boil it, but I'm gonna rinse it off with a little bit of cold water. So you'll hear me doing that. I need multiple cameras, honey, because when but hey, as long as you know the process. That is good. And that's how it's boiling. I'm going to rinse it off real quick, you guys. Sorry about that. I've rinsed it off. I'm going to add this back. A little bit more just so it can steam. Now, why I can't find the lid to my little pot right here, I do not know, but I'm going to improvise. I'm going to improvise and just use one of the bigger pots. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Because at this point, I'm just kind of letting it steam a little bit for about 8 minutes. And we're pretty much done. So I'm going to stop the recording, you guys. So if you got any questions, you can ask questions. Give me 1 second.